Also today I decided to carry this little red bag, but there's one egg per each of them. If you have dogs at home, it's good that you feed your dog like say twice a week a raw egg, of course without the shell. This is so good for their probiotic, so for their probiota, not probiotic, probiotics are probiotics actually. And also it's good overall. On top of that, it's gonna make their fur softer and shinier, and it's so good. So if you get the chance, you can just, of course you're not gonna give it as is, you put it in your bowl, if you feed them with the bowl and mix with the kibble or whatever. And also if you don't want to be doing that and you give them dry food, what you can do also is, not every time but once per day, if you feed them, I suggest that you feed them more than once a day, and you just separate the intake, is like us, it's better for their stomach. Just add a little bit of olive oil on top of their dry food, or if it's barf that would be ideal, but again, if it's raw food, again, some olive oil works wonders. That's my tip. What I'm gonna do is take Bobby on the morning hike, and then on the after lunch I'll take Mr. Joy. I just gave them an egg each, and they cleaned it. They cleaned it. The only sad thing is that this little booger, he's leaving for the Netherlands. Well, I mean, it's great news for him, but for Joy, not so much, because he's gonna be all by himself here at the shelter. Oh God, but oh well. We'll try to make the best, but they, as you can see, the kibble, they didn't look at it, and the eggs. And let me show you. So here's the eggshells, as you can see. Yeah. So, question. Why don't I take Bobby and Joy at the same time? Oh, I did that mistake twice. This is why I'm going to the physiotherapist. If they go together, they get tangled because they were very young, and they start playing with one another, and we end up falling, you know, getting tangled. And if I cannot trust Joy 100% on the loose, because sometimes he will get distracted and go after a car, someone on a bike, some other dog. So even though he has improved heaps, he still reacts to some things. Bobby, as you can see, he can go. He takes care of himself. That's great. Everyone should be this way. Anyway, but if I let them both loose, they leave, you know, with Joy and an adventure. And if I just let Bobby loose, so I can maneuver better Joy will pull and pull and pull and pull, because he wants to go with Bobby. It only makes sense, right? So Joy is gonna have to wait for the other guy, the other boy, not the other, for that boy to come later today. I'll come by noon before I go to the physiotherapist, because then I won't be able to take Joy with me for a few days. Not very many, but at least 2-3 days. No Joy for me. No Joy, I mean, no walking Joy. I hope there's joy for me in the world. Anyway, and Bobby is a happy camper. I relate to Bobby, I don't know. And today I'm just taking it the easier way and going with Bobby. My back will thank me, and that's it. But I don't know, this is what it must be like. This is why I could never be a teacher, I guess. Something like that. Everyone wants your attention, and you can then only spread so thin. And I have this problem that I feel guilty if I leave someone out. I shouldn't, but I do. And so you hear him crying, but I'm a little bit saddened as well, because I would want to take them all, but you can only do so much. And so Bobby here just found a glove, and now he's having issues because he wants to bury it someplace, and he can't find a place, and he's confused. He doesn't want to leave the glove. It's a precious treasure. He doesn't want to be carrying it. So here we are, right? Here we are. And yeah, as I was saying, this example of Bobby and an analogy from that the other day my nephew told me, he didn't even, of course, think that through his age, but he told me, life's a cucumber. And as opposed to the rest of the adults did, like, yeah, right, I felt like, he's damn right. Life's a flipping cucumber. Sometimes it's prickly, sometimes it's soft, sometimes, you know, you open it and it's got that taste. I used to say that, like, kind of sour, because it got, you know, a bee went to eat its flower. Sometimes it's blah, sometimes it's mushy, sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it tastes like nothing. So life's a cucumber. Life is a cucumber indeed. I don't know what got him, but I thought, yay. And so sometimes you think, oh, this is nonsense. Oh, well, it makes sense, you know. So I just stopped here. I'm gonna finish getting dressed just to check the damage. I've been bit, or bitten, how do you say that? Anyway, I've been bit by a husky. Here's my headband. Not my husky, not a, this is why you have to really know your dog before letting him off leash. So here I am with Bobby, and along comes this girl with a husky, young one, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And Bobby was like defensive. He is always, you know, friendly. So the other girl told me, it's fine, you know, they're gonna sniff one another. But I saw that dog with that tail, straight as an arrow, and I thought, to myself, oh well, let's see. But I wasn't so confident, and when I saw that attitude, well, I pick him up, you know, on my arms as a baby, and lo and behold, the husky proceeded to bite me. He was aiming for him, but I just turned myself sideways, and he bit my jacket that fortunately is super sturdy, and then I was carrying this and this, so what it could have been tearing my arm apart just ended up being a big bruiser. And she apologized, and that's it. Like, stuff happens, it happens to anyone. Nobody means for that to happen. But this is why you have to be super careful, because when you don't know your animal through and through, sometimes stuff can happen, and I don't know. Luckily I was carrying all this close of gear, and I won't have to go to the doctors to get stitches or a vaccine. And now I'm stopping here. I stopped here, and I stopped here just to check. I wasn't planning on stopping here, but I stopped here just to check my injuries on my leg and my arm. And long story short, it's COVID times. I think we all need to pray, and this is a place to come for prayer. I don't know the proper name in English, so I won't even try. You get this Buddhist place, and we're gonna sit here, relax, maybe meditate, and take it easy. Go home. But yeah, be careful. Be careful. Be careful with dogs that you don't know how they're gonna end up reacting, as opposed to Mr. Frolicky that lucky owners are gonna be. So Joy and I have made a deal of him. If he wants to go with me, he can pull however he wants to with other people. But with me, little one, he's not gonna play games. No. We're just gonna be chill. Now all he needs to learn is to not get in between the legs, but I prefer him to have him just like that, next to me, than destroying my spine. I mean, he's gonna go and smell and still and whatnot, but he knows that if he exits with me, he has to be chill. And now we're gonna go and find a place nearby where I will let him free so he can run a little bit. Let's go. Yep. And yeah, I'm so happy, you know, I'm so happy for the results that they worked with him, because he was like a kangaroo and now he's a good boy. Now we look like, instead of a dog from the shelter and someone who goes on a hike, like now we look like someone, you know, a dog owner and the dog friend, you know? Yeah, it looks like the people that go and take their dogs to make her business after lunch. We upgraded and we're cooler all of a sudden. He's excited, but it's not, see, he's not jumping and pulling, so I'm stopping filming and paying attention to him because that's what he deserves. Little tip from me to you that y'all probably know, but there's people that don't know. If you have a dog, and all dogs need to sniff, it's their WhatsApp. But if your dog is more energetic and he, for whatever reason, stops to sniff some plants and flowers, just allow him to, you know, oh, let's not get tangled though. He gets in between the legs. Just allow them to, because that, for them, where are you, buddy? He's here. For them, it's relaxing. It's the most relaxing thing ever for them. And so it works. Yep. Flip the camera. Who am I? I'm out and about, you know. Oh, I love wearing hats, but in here you cannot wear them as often as I'd like to, because the majority of the time they fly away, you know, with the wind in the winter time. But yeah. So given the fact that I already had my exercise and kind of tired, and you know, oh no, still he gets curious with everything. Now we're gonna run towards the horse. Behold, and he's gonna bark to the horse. But yeah, we're not gonna go up there and far away into the mountains. We're just gonna walk around the fields, around town, the outskirts of it actually. And I'm gonna let him sniff all he wants to. Maybe we should go and pick some carrots for the horse, see? Look at him. He's going to say, hey, Joy! Joy, viene que me caballo, corre! Look at the horsey. Oh, Joy's taking a dump. They're crying, the dogs in here. They're tied. I disapprove. Hey, horsey! Say hello! Now he's gonna bark and get scared. Tell him we're not carrying carrots today. I'm so sorry. Maybe on our way back we'll bring you some. But don't cry. Why you cry? Why you cry? He's a good boy too. Tell him I'm a good boy. But you're a huge dog. What is this huge dog? What is this huge dog? Is it a horsey? Oh my God. Oh, and the donkey's here too. This pair. The other day I brought some carrots for both of them, and the horse and Mr. Horse was being selfish and would eat all the carrots and would leave none for the donkey. And the donkey is kind of more shy. Let's go. And Joy won't leave. It's like, what? Joy! Joy! Bạn em. Joy! 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 Ikuyo! Joy! Nem! Why is he on the loose but with the leash? To some dogs, it adds them the sense of don't leave me, but the reality of it is that dog Joy hasn't been identified yet up until today when he goes to the vet and he is going to get his ID. So if he were to get lost, everybody in this town knows that this leash, that it's a escalating cord, belongs to me. Nobody carries a leash like this. So that's his safety net, you know, because he has no other ID. But that leash leads you to me every single time. It's a contraption that I did, and I should maybe take the time and sell it, because it's an extendable leash that it doubles the size, and you can use it as you go, and it's something else that I came up with. It's an invention that I did, but I never got patented. But you and the guys from the shelter are the lucky ones who get to try it, and it works every single time, and it's so durable. It's unbreakable. I mean, not to brag, but do you remember him jumping? Jay? Jay? Jay food? So whenever I come across this olive tree and I see that hole, it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Let's go. Okay, we're going. We're going sniffling. And it almost makes me want to sit in there and have a nap, and I don't know. Maybe the story of Alice starts in there. I don't know, but yeah. So, all in all, Joy cannot deny that today he's had his outing, his exploring, even though he was supposed to go to a run, but before hitting the vet, he will have had his moment of where is he at? Peace and quiet and relaxation. So yeah, it's gonna be better for when they take him to the vet, that he's more chill overall. And to me, it served, you know, instead of being home, I'll come hang out with him. It's not something you do in a daily, because I might as well go and live at the shelter. But every now and then, it feels good. It feels good, and it's been worth it. Bye.